in the book, there is this first version of WeWork that many people don't know about, which was Green Chair, which was going to be like an eco-friendly co-working space. Adam had 2 partners on it. He had talked a landlord in Brooklyn into giving him the space. And it worked really well. Gothamist, the blog, was sort of housed out of there. And it went so well that the landlord bought out Adam and his partners. Tell that part of the story, because I think it's instructive that this was a great moment in time to create this very innovative idea of, offices as a service. We look at like one of the big, when we used to raise money for companies, the first thing you did was like buy some servers. And the next thing you did was sign a 2-year lease and then wonder if you had signed for too much or too little. And this was a pretty innovative idea, was it not?
It was, and this was coming out of the financial crisis of 2008. It was actually sort of right in that, and it in some ways it felt like a bad moment, but in hindsight it was kind of perfect, because you had all these people looking for different solutions. You had companies downsizing. You had a lot of freelancers, and as the company grew, they had Green Desk for about a year.
Green Desk, not Green Chair. Yes,
different. The funny part about it is there was also a half a mile away a place called Green Spaces that was basically doing the same thing. So there was this little kind of boomlet of these companies where it was like, yes, the real estate world does not seem to be meeting the demands, and specifically the demands of the startup world, which was right now I might have 2 people. Next year I might have 20, or I might still have 2. Like I don't totally know, and so what WeWork provided was, beyond what everyone talks about, which was the beer keg and the coffee and the nice place to kind of meet, was flexibility. And you could have different offices of different sizes. You could do a month-to-month lease. You just had a lot more adaptability to whatever sort of your needs were. So I think for a long time, and especially as kind of the startup world was really getting going again after the financial crisis, it really served a pretty clear need for that community in particular.
And it was so profitable and valuable, that Green Desk, that the landlord, who owned many buildings in Brooklyn, said to Newman and his partners, I want to give you $500,000 each and buy you out. And this is after 1 year, so that I own 100% of this. So it was confirmation that this was a brilliant idea. It was working. And he said, just stay the hell out of Brooklyn. You have a non-compete to stay out of Brooklyn. One of the 3 partners went back to Israel, was like, I got my 500, but he talks the other founder into, hey, let's start WeWork and find another space and start again in Lower Manhattan, correct?
Yeah, and Green Desk still exists. I'm here in Dumbo right now, and it's still here a few blocks away, and that landlord went and expanded it into half a dozen spaces in Brooklyn. And what Adam and his co-founder, Miguel McKelvey, sort of said was, they wanted something bigger. They didn't want to just stay in Brooklyn, and they also wanted to run their own business. They didn't want to necessarily be a partner or sort of owe this landlord as kind of the person who had the space. So it was clear the idea had legs. The tricky part was sort of still convincing kind of landlords to take a risk on this company, because it was sort of a risky model. It had existed before, and especially in recessions, which we were in at the time, it's a potentially dangerous model, because if you can't find people to rent your little offices out of, you're still on the hook, and people had gone under in the past from this very same sort of idea.